In Henry Joost's 2016 film Nerve, he uses the game Nerve to explore how social media relies on peer pressure and social conformity to build a platform. In the case of the game, it risks players' lives to gain viewers and therefore popularity. This idea is prominent in the latter scene. Juice makes it evident in this scene that social media leads to reckless behavior, peer pressure, and an addiction to technology. Nowadays, technology plays such a big part in our lives, controlling everything we do, and for some people, it's something that they cannot live without. This leaves us prone to conformity and peer pressure. In today's society, conformity can increase our social status, which in return could lead us into risky or dangerous situations. Reckless behavior is evident in the scene where Sydney is dared by the viewers to walk across the gap of a building on a ladder. This is one of the most consequential dares that we see in the film because the outcome is either life or death. At the beginning of the ladder walk, an extreme long shot is used to emphasize how dangerous the dare is. Along with this, a high angle pan is used to outline the risks and consequences of the dare. There is no music in the background, only dialogue from the partygoers and subtle sound effects such as police sirens and the movement of the ladder. This is done to showcase the seriousness of the scene and how much danger Sydney has put herself into. The use of lighting is very dark, but Juice deliberately uses colours such as red and orange to highlight Sydney, which allows the audience to focus on Sydney's facial expression. The dialogue from the partygoers conveys further the dangers of the stunt. Liv, one of Sydney's friends, anxiously says, "What are you doing?" Sydney tells the audience that Liv is scared for her friend's life. Throughout the scene, a POV shot and high angle shots are used. This puts the audience in Sydney's shoes to show the amount of danger she has put herself in, while adding suspense to the overall scene. An example of this is when Sydney pulls out her phone to film her dare, which puts us in the perspective of the viewers. Another example is an under-angle shot of Sydney, which could possibly be from the perspective of the viewers watching from the ground below. Juice deliberately set the dare at night at a high school party to emphasize the risk involved. Because of the party, she is drunk, which carries more danger to the already risky situation. The costume choice for Sydney is very basic. She is very exposed through only wearing a t-shirt and short shorts. She is also wearing heels, which makes her walk across the ladder immensely more difficult than it already is. This adds to the reckless nature of the dare, showing the audience that she is not well protected and fit for this dangerous stunt. A cultural assumption is that the right motives, peer pressure and conformity, can occur more commonly. The game Nerve relies on two motives, money and popularity. This tells the audience that the risk of danger is increased and the consequences are much higher. Peer pressure is shown through the watcher's dialogue and different camera angles used to show Sydney's facial expression. When Sydney receives the dare, the camera slowly zooms in on her facial expression before gulping her drink for relief. This is done to provide the audience with insight on how shocked and anxious she is. Even though she is hesitant, she still proceeds to go through with the dare to gain viewers and popularity. When outside on the window ledge, you can hear Sydney's heavy breathing and the pep talk she gives herself to motivate her to walk across the ladder. Her tone is very anxious and scared as her voice is high-pitched and she starts to stutter her words. A key influence of peer pressure is the dialogue from the partygoers. An example of this is when one of the teens, called Chuck, says, "Sydney, it's not going to count unless you film it." Even though Sydney was terrified to walk, she conformed anyways in order to keep her status and viewers. A cultural assumption explored throughout the film is teenagers' addiction to technology. The game helps portray this meaning by encouraging the viewers and the players to film their dares. This keeps the audience questioning if the viewers think to ever seek help and stop the reckless behavior from occurring. Technology addiction is shown through a POV shot and the influence that technology had on Sydney. When on the ladder, her phone is visibly tucked into her pocket, which tells the audience that she has an attachment to the phone and doesn't care about the risk of damaging it. A POV handheld shot is used when Sydney attempts to film herself. The camera is very shaky, which shows her nervousness. When dropping her phone, her automatic response was to bail, which tells the audience that her stopping point of the game was when her most prized possession, which in this case her phone, was sacrificed. Juice's Nerve strongly conveys three communication aspects, which inform the audience about risks, addiction, and peer pressure. Technology can be taken for granted, and this film makes it clear that with motivation from peers and popularity, one's choice to portray dangers is not hard to turn down.